what advice do you have for people that are starting after a heartbreak? Maybe a few years or maybe even a few months, but something that felt very intense and real when it doesn't work out. What's your advice for people after a heartbreak?
After a heartbreak and then going back out and dating, is that what you mean?
Yeah, should they go out and date right away? Should they take a gap?
Yes.
Should they, go through some kind of self-work?
I think when there's been a really difficult heartbreak and it's had taken its toll on you, as Arti said, if it was quite intense and that's just come to an end, I think it's really important to take some time to heal from that. I think if you can still feel that pain, it's probably not a good time to go out and meet someone else, because you won't be completely open. You'll still be almost like sheltered and closed off to the new people anyway, and you're probably not ready to commit and invest in something new. So I would encourage you to use it. Firstly, using the breakup as an opportunity to really understand, what went well, what didn't go so well, what would you do next time, how has this left you feeling, what do you need to heal in this process. Maybe you need to just be alone and not go racing or jumping into another relationship and distracting with someone else, but really sitting in that hurt and the grief and the loss and just feeling that. And when you feel like you've come out of that dark space and you feel like you're no longer so hurt by it, yes, it was maybe a horrible experience or there was grief and loss attached, but you feel whole within yourself again, you don't feel so emotionally raw, that is a time where I would encourage you then to maybe pursue other options in dating, when you can feel like you can be on that date and be fully present and not feel the pangs of grief and loss from your last relationship. I think that's a good indicator. And we don't always know. Sometimes we might feel like, hey, I'm over this person, but then you sit down with someone else and it brings up all that grief and loss again. That's probably an indicator to say, hey, you know what, you're a really nice person, but I've just realized I'm actually not ready for this. And that is totally okay. And that may give you some information around, maybe I just need to give myself another few weeks or another few months. And that's fine. Going out and meeting new people in a non-romantic context can help as well. Maybe taking a yoga class or going on a new journey in some other way to help fill that void and hurt as well. So I think sitting in it and processing it is really important, and being very clear about how you feel in that new dating world is a good way to move forward.
Wow. And what kind of self-work would you suggest for people that want to quickly get over this hurt and this hollow feeling and this resentment or whatever that negative emotion might be, to actually cut off and very fairly move on into something new?
So I think there's two sides to that coin. I think, moving on too quickly and sort of, wanting quick options and, wanting to just get on with it, I think can be quite dangerous, because you're completely dismissing a human experience here, the loss and the hurt and the grief. But I think on the other hand, if you want to take an active role rather than kind of moping around watching TV and eating ice cream, but you want to kind of really sit in that breakup and move through it in a meaningful way that's going to not speed up the healing, but help you manage it in a constructive way. You can do a lot of things, looking after yourself, eating well, not staying up too late, not drinking too much, seeing your friends and family, having new experiences, because you can still do all these amazing things and then still come home in the evening and feel that hurt and pain. But it doesn't mean that you need to put yourself on hold. Even things like journaling can be really helpful. Maybe journaling about, what that experience was like for you, or what you think went really well and what you think went really bad, and hey, what was your role in that? Because it can't all be the other person's fault. What role did I play in the breakdown of this relationship? What do I need to be mindful of in my new relationship? What do I want my new relationship to look like compared to my old relationship? What habits do I have in relationships that I need to change? There is a wealth of information that we can access if we actually focus inward rather than grasping and trying to speed up the process and distracting ourselves. So I think there's lots of different ways to cope with a breakup, but I think that can be a really meaningful and enriching way. And it could be things like daily meditation for 20 minutes. We know if you do that for 3 months, neurologically, it can help to change your brain pathways to really foster a sense of well-being. So there's so many inner resources that you can develop for yourself before you jump back out into the dating scene.
Lovely. I also really think that meditation helps, and especially forgiveness meditation.
Yes, and healing. They actually have breakup healing meditations, and they're so beautiful, and they've got the visualization. And I think, you know, doing things like that neurologically can help you feel calm and relaxed and heal in a more constructive way. So I think you're right about that.
Do you think that hearing a forgiveness meditation in the night could actually solve subconsciously the hurt over a period of time?
I think that it is a really good way to at least try to resolve some of that pain and hurt. But if you find that, for example, you've been doing these, you know, loving kindness or recovery or heartbreak meditations or forgiveness meditations, and you still feel a lot of unresolved feelings, it might be worth going to see someone to just work through that. So you've got a sounding board. It could be a psychologist who you go and see, who you can say, look, I've tried all these things on my own, but there's something stuck here and I really need help with that. So there's so many things you can do on your own, but I think utilize the resources that you have access to as well in the community.
Yeah, and you had a certain technique that you were going to share with us today.
Yes.
About, is it to do with forgiveness and cutting off old ties, or is it to do with actually manifesting your perfect soulmate?
So I was thinking to do a bit of a mindfulness, meditation and visualization. And the sort of goal with this is to really focus inward and to almost develop your own visualization of what it would be like to be in a relaxing place, to really bring up your ideal soulmate, to really visualize them and feel what it would be like to be around them, and really play out in this sort of movie-like way how you would approach them. How would you engage with them? How would you converse with them? How do you feel around them? And I think if we can do that, we can really access all of our internal resources. We actually have a lot of these resources within us, but what these techniques help to do is actually bring it all to the surface so that you can access it and pursue your own needs and really feel confident in that.
Yeah, that's so true, because when I ask someone what is your ideal soulmate look like, and they all have the same thing to say: good looking, well educated, well spoken,
Yes.
well settled. So there's no individuality, or there's
Yes.
no real intricate
Yes.
details that people share. So when you're doing this visualization, how can people actually pull out these little intricate, unique
Yes.
things that they are drawn to? Like for me, I feel that if there's someone who's not that great looking, but if they have a great
Yes.
smile, which is very
Yes.
charismatic, that's good enough, you know? So little things like that that really matter to you, if you can actually add them to your visualization, that would really help your creative visualization
Yes.
process, right?
Yes. And we know that if we can bring all of this to the surface, we're more likely to be attuned to it when we come across it in our everyday living. You know, if we're not clear on what we even want, how can we actually identify that around us and pursue it and engage with it? And we might have apprehensions, you know, oh, if I see my soulmate or I see someone who I like, how am I going to engage? This actually gives you the resources to be able to do that with confidence, with ease, with a sense of calmness and groundedness.
Right. So if you want to catch our meditation or our technique that Jamila has to share, catch us in the next video.